Kyle Rittenhouse had his first post-trial interview, of course, with Tucker Carlson. And during this interview, some interesting topics came up, namely what Kyle Rittenhouse has to say to President Joe Biden, who he feels has defamed him. Let's watch.
What did you make of the President of the United States calling you a white supremacist?
Mr. President, if I could say one thing to you, I would urge you to go back and watch the trial and understand the facts before you make a statement.
That's not a small thing to be called that.
No, it's actual malice, defaming my character for him to say something like that.
I mean, why do you think, and it's not simply Biden who said that, it's a lot of people on television have said that, dozens of people have said that. I'm sorry to tell you in case you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's actually quite hysterical how nobody can go back and look at the facts of the case. He crossed state lines, false. He's a white supremacist, false. None of that is true. And the lies that they can just get away with spreading is just sickening, and it's a disgrace to this country.
I couldn't agree more.
They're absurd.
That Tucker Carlson part is my favorite. I mean, Diane Sawyer's got some competition.
Yeah.
Okay, for like the faux concern, like.
Yeah. No, you went Diane Sawyer. That's fair enough because of the maniacal, squinting that she does with that fake concern look she has. I was thinking telenovela, like, dun dun dun. No one can withstand what you have withstood, Kyle Rittenhouse, our beloved hero who went and shot and killed people he thought were left-wingers. Dun, dun, dun.
All right, okay.
So look. Putting the silliness aside, because that was totally silly. Every part of that was contrived. I mean, they call it fake, the other folks fake news. Every part of that interview that you just saw right there was fake. Like, Mr. President, Rittenhouse says, if I could just say one thing to you, you did this with actual malice. That's what my lawyer told me to tell you, because that's what we're gonna sue on, actual malice. That's a phrase that my lawyer gave, and I will say as if I mean it earnestly. I don't know why anybody thought I was a white supremacist. All I did was flash the white supremacist sign right afterwards in a picture that I took when I was released.
I need you to control yourself a little bit during this story. Because I just want to be able to present some parts of this that I think are relevant. Because did President Joe Biden, because like that statement actually shocked me, because we know what Democrats are like. I'm talking about Democratic politicians. They are insanely cowardly, okay, and very careful in their language. They don't just willy-nilly go around using strong language like this person is a white supremacist. Certainly not someone like Joe Biden, right? So I was like, oh, did Joe Biden really refer to Kyle Rittenhouse as a white supremacist? And what they're referring to here is actually a tweet by Joe Biden. The tweet itself doesn't refer to Kyle Rittenhouse as a white supremacist. In fact, let's go to that tweet, graphic 1. There's no other way to put it. The President of the United States refused to disavow white supremacists on the debate stage last night. So this is when Joe Biden wasn't president yet. He's running for president. And he very clearly there is making a reference to Donald Trump and his unwillingness to just release a statement urging the right-wing violence to stop. That's what he's referring to. But as you can see, there's a video embedded there, and the video very briefly flashes a photo of Kyle Rittenhouse. So therefore, Kyle Rittenhouse feels that in the act of posting this video, President Joe Biden had referred to Kyle Rittenhouse as a white supremacist. So we have that snippet from the video to show you. Let's take a quick look at that, and then we can discuss.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you prepared to specifically do it?
Well, I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing.
So the idea that Kyle Rittenhouse can successfully sue President Joe Biden for defamation, using an argument of actual malice and using that video as the evidence. Anyone who buys that doesn't understand, A, how difficult it is to win defamation lawsuits, especially in regard to a public figure like Kyle Rittenhouse. And secondly, proving actual malice is one of the most difficult things, because you have to prove that there was malicious intent in Joe Biden, malicious intent directed toward Kyle Rittenhouse by posting that video, which, by the way, featured Chris Wallace mentioning Kenosha, Wisconsin. And when you think of what happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin, you of course undeniably think about Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, I'm not debating it. I'm not getting into a debate with idiots. So you see the video, and Wallace clearly says white supremacists and militia. And then when he says, as we saw in Kenosha, they show a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse. And Kyle Rittenhouse in the past has put up white supremacist signs. And he went to what he perceived to be a Black Lives Matter protest with a weapon in case he needed to shoot and kill people. And he did shoot and kill people. They are the victims. So this little boy coming in here and go, oh, I'm the victim. Those people are dead, but they're not the victims. As the judge said in that case, they're rioters, looters, arsonists, whatever. They're left wing of some sort. I killed them, but I got called a bad word, kind of, maybe in the middle of a video, but not really. I'm the victim. And you know what? It works like a charm. The right-wing audience loves that telenovela where they get to shoot and kill and maim, and then turn around and be the victim. Be the victim. I was called a white supremacist after I killed these people. I went in there with a weapon, looking to use my weapon, and then I turn around after I kill them, and I say, oh yeah, oh poor me. By the way, guys, even if you're right wing, you know every part of that was maudlin, was put on, it was contrived, it was for his lawsuit. Dude, you killed 2 people and got away with it. Take the win and go home. But nope, this is the time to cash in, because he knows and Tucker knows that the right wing loves to do violence and then cry about it as if they're the victim. So that's that BS that you just saw right there. So Kyle Rittenhouse can go do whatever the hell he wants, and he can cry about this show, any other show. I don't care. You killed 2 people. You are not the victim.
And here is the photo that Cenk was referring to, featuring Kyle Rittenhouse with the Proud Boys, flashing the sign that has been taken over by white supremacists, that hand gesture, which is supposed to imply white power. So yeah, it's gonna be a little difficult to sue for defamation when this kind of stuff exists. And so look, the right wing salivates over the notion that Kyle Rittenhouse is gonna get his comeuppance in these lawsuits, but we'll see. We'll see how that all plays out. Anyway,
that he's going to cash in, and they're going to show that all these that they're the ones who are aggrieved. Guys, when you do that sign, okay, this is not from 1987 when hey everybody was saying A-OK. That is with the Proud Boys. You're doing that sign in a picture with the Proud Boys. There's no question why you're doing it. So don't come and cry later and say, oh, just because I'm hanging out with a bunch of white supremacists and I put up a white supremacist sign after I went to a black protest and killed 2 people because I brought a weapon to kill people. Oh, but poor me, poor me. Shut up. You and all your stupid right-wing fans who love your violence and who love that white supremacy that you hint at and then wink, wink. Oh, it could have been an okay sign, wink. I did it with the Proud Boys after I killed people, wink. Get out of here, man. You guys are all frauds, total, utter frauds.
So later in the interview, he was asked about his feelings toward protesters and all that. So let's go to that video.
This case has nothing to do with race. It never had anything to do with race. It had to do with the right to self-defense.
Right.
I'm not a racist person. I support the BLM movement. I support peacefully demonstrating. And I believe there needs to be change. I believe there's a lot of prosecutorial misconduct, not just in my case, but in other cases. And it's just amazing to see how much a prosecutor can take advantage of somebody.
So he's gonna talk at length about the prosecutorial process in just a minute. But before we get to that, there was another video where he weighed in on Black Lives Matter. And it seems like he's saying the same thing, so I don't know if there's 2 different versions where there was some editing taking place, but I wanted to provide both versions for you. So let's take a look at the next video.
Why do you think people were burning car source? What does that have to do with civil rights?
I don't know. I think it was opportunists taking advantage of the BLM movement. I agree with the BLM movement. I agree everybody has the right to protest and assemble, but I do not agree that people have the right to burn down. I don't appreciate that people are burning down American cities to try to spread their message. I think there's other ways to go around and do that.
Okay, so look, the only thing I want to say about that is, look, whether you believe him or not, to me, that doesn't even matter. But it is not a private citizen's job, and it certainly is not a 17-year-old's job to take up arms and show up to any community, okay, to do the policing. Again, it is not his job. I get it. You don't want to see communities burned down. I totally understand that. But that's not his job. It is not his job to show up with weapons to protect any community. We're supposed to have law enforcement that's supposed to do that. We're supposed to have authorities that are supposed to protect communities. And if they fail at that job, then you make a decision as an American who has the right to vote someone in or out of office, the ability to make decisions about what happens within your community, right? To come together with other members of your community to make those decisions. The idea that, no, I'm a hero here because I didn't like that, there was some looting taking place. So therefore, I felt the need to take up arms and show up and try to protect that community. It's not your job. Like, I feel like that's missing from every part of the debate, every part of the conversation.
Okay, so here's my opinion. I think that Kyle Rittenhouse is a liar, an obvious liar. You think he took an AR-15 to that protest to support Black Lives Matter? No one in their right mind believes that. If the right wing believed that, they would turn on Kyle Rittenhouse instantly. But they don't believe it either. They watched that and they had a good laugh. He went to go support Black Lives Matter. Then he shot and killed people at the protest. Yeah, we were there to support Black Lives. He was on the militia side. He was on the militia side. He wasn't on the protest side. Oh, I care about Black Lives Matter. My lawyer also told me to say that because later when I sue, I will say, oh, there was actual malice. And I was just there to support people before I killed them. And they're all, the people I shot are dead, right? But I was there to support them. I just supported them with bullets into their skulls and killed them dead. But I care about Black Lives Matter. I mean, I put up white supremacist hand signals with people who are known to be white supremacists, but it was just a coincidence. It was just my lawyer told me I gotta get, hey listen, killing people isn't enough. I need to get paid for it. I need to get paid a lot of money to kill these people because now I'm a hero, I'm an angel. Among the right wing, I'm the celebrity. Tucker Carlson, what a fraud, what a liar. He's like, they called you a white supremacist. That's very harsh. Why do you think they did that? Because they never showed the sign that we showed you. They never showed you the picture that we showed you. So to the knuckleheads watching Fox News, and to be fair to them, they never saw it, right? The audience never saw it because Tucker lies to them every night. They never saw this. So Tucker says like this, but Tucker knows, Rittenhouse knows he did it. But they both are like, oh, I don't know why. I mean, I go to a Black Lives Matter protest with an AR-15 ready to shoot everybody. And then they say that I'm against black people and they protest. I don't know why. And I put up a white supremacist sign with white supremacists and they call me a white supremacist. They don't even call me a white supremacist, but I pretended they call me a white supremacist. I don't know why. As if they're the victims. Liars, they know. Look, even if they don't agree, you know that they know why he's being called a white supremacist. For them to pretend like they don't know, well, now you know, even if you're a right winger, Tucker Carlson and Kyle Rittenhouse are giant liars. You might like that they're lying, you might like that they killed people you don't agree with, and you might like that he's trying to cash in on killing those people, but that makes you a terrible person. But no matter what though, you know that they're not being honest. Like, oh gee, I can't figure it out. Hey, anybody know why is Kyle being called these things? Anybody know? No, nobody at Fox News can figure it out. It's a news station, but nobody can figure it out. Get out of here.
All right, one more video from the interview.
I believe there needs to be change. I believe there's a lot of prosecutorial misconduct, not just in my case, but in other cases. And it's just amazing to see how much a prosecutor can take advantage of somebody. Like, if they did this to me, imagine what they could have done to a person of color who doesn't maybe have the resources I do or is not widely publicized like my case.
I mean, look, it is incredible that there was so much evidence that was dismissed and not allowed in court, including video of him talking about wanting to go after or literally use his weapon against people who he believed were shoplifting, right? So that showed intent regarding what he was intending on doing with that weapon, but that was not allowed in court. I mean, every part of this trial was honestly pretty favorable toward the defense. Now, again, we all saw the videos and the defense here was self-defense. And based on those videos, you can see that he's in a situation where he could reasonably feel like he needs to defend himself with the weapon. But he put himself in a situation that he, as a 17-year-old, should not have been in, that anyone should not have been in, because it is not a private citizen's job to be a vigilante and to enforce the law. We're supposed to have law enforcement to do that. So it's just an interesting outcome, right? Put yourself in a situation that's dangerous, then you kill people and then argue, well, I had to kill people because I was in a dangerous situation. But I agree. I mean, we do have prosecutorial issues in this country. It's fascinating that he seems to understand pretty clearly that there's a two-tier justice system where those who are at a lower socioeconomic status, those who happen to be people of color, don't typically enjoy the same resources that he got to enjoy in defending himself in court.
Yeah, so look, that last part is the only part that I half believe, because for the right wing, they don't realize that the world exists unless something happens to them. Then they're like, oh, it turns out there's prosecutorial misconduct. Could this happen to black people too? Maybe I shouldn't have went to go shoot them. Oh, right, I said, as Anna said in the quote, I can't wait to shoot people. That's a paraphrase. Oh no, he didn't exactly say that. He said with the shoplifters he would kill them, but it's a paraphrase, it's a paraphrase. Okay, look, you already got away with it. I mean, that trial was so rigged in his favor. The quote that we're referencing, where he wanted to use the weapon, not admissible. Are you insane that that's not admissible? How is that not relevant to this case? He clearly says ahead of time what he's gonna do, then he does it, and you go, oh no, not relevant, because I gotta protect my beloved white supremacist killer, is what the judge basically said. Oh, you wanna cry? You wanna cry? You wanna cry about me calling him that? Go ahead and cry, do whatever the hell you want. Here's the amount of sympathy I have for Kyle Rittenhouse, 0. The people who are dead, I have sympathy for. The guy who killed him, and he went to go use his weapon in the middle of a protest, I have no sympathy for. None, 0. He can cry from here to eternity, and Tucker can do his fake tears along with him. Why, Kyle? Why did they do this to you when you just went to go kill left-wingers? How could they do this to you? What, we're not allowed to kill left-wing? We're not allowed to do this anymore? I thought we were above the law, but you were above the law. Take the goddamn win and go home. Nope. Money. Oh, poor victim Kyle Rittenhouse. 0% interest in any of that horse crap. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.